KKL Kayemet Sweden celebrates 110 years of active fundraising this year. Part of our mission is to establish a strong bond between the donors in the diaspora and the land of milk and honey. Through our young leadership venture, we try to educate and inform the coming generation of donors about our water desalination and desert reforestation projects, which their parents support. Given the current situation with the coronavirus, it's hard to travel to Israel, and we felt it to be especially important to connect the donors with the cause. And so that's why we decided to set up a Shabbat Shalom call.
Hi, my name is Jennifer and I'm a 17-year-old girl from the northern of Sweden. As of right now, I'm surrounded by snow, which is in another form water, just in a frozen state. And it really makes me think about how people in the world doesn't have access to this amount of water that I actually have. Which is why I think that KKL's work is something that's going to be useful for lots of people, not only in Israel but also in other parts of the world. So I would love to hear more about it.
Shalom, I'm Aviad Arik Herman and I'm a designer from Israel. I am right now in Tel Aviv with the National Theatre Habima behind me. I am currently working on costumes for a new musical theater that will be produced here in a couple of months. I'm very excited to collaborate with KKL Kayemet, and I congratulate you all for the wonderful work that you do. Thank you. Greetings from Israel. Are they on?
I think now we should be on.
Hey!
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hi, Aviad. I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly.
You pronounce it perfectly, Ossi.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Ossi and Susan and Jennifer.
And Jennifer, yes.
Yes.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice
Shabbat Shalom. So, I don't know what you know about me, if at all, except for Ossi pronouncing my name perfectly. My name is Aviad, and I am originally from Israel. And I am calling you from Israel right now. I am in a city called Ashkelon, which, as you can see, is right on the coast. It is south of Tel Aviv, about 45-50 kilometers south of Tel Aviv. And even though we are it is the beginning of March, it's sunny and warm and beautiful. And I see some people are enjoying the beach right now.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I'm sending you some sunny energies all the way up to the north of Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I anticipate your visit in Israel. As soon as it will be possible to travel freely again, I would love for all of you to come and visit here in Israel. I am sure you're going to love it. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. I know that all the Swedes that had visited Israel, that they all really had a wonderful time in this country, and that they find the Israeli people very warm and very open and very welcoming. Right. And so it's also pretty exciting to connect now with you guys through KKL Kayemet Sweden.
I remember when we lived in US, we met a family, Ayala, there. And
yes.
So I remember we celebrated something. And it was a lot of food. And
Actually, that's my only impression from working with Aviv and Ayala is that Israelis had a lot of holidays.
Yes, and they are all associated with a lot of food. Indeed, that is really part of Turkish culture. Nice. But actually, one of our holidays, and this is a fun connection to KKL Kayemet, we have a holiday called Tu B'Shvat, and this is a holiday that we celebrate the nature. And one of my very precious childhood memories as a kid growing up in a small city in the south of Israel called Ofakim was that every year on Tu B'Shvat, we would go together with school to one of KKL Kayemet's parks or venues, and we would get to plant trees ourselves. it's a tradition that the children here do as part of the educational syllabus, if you may. And it is a really beautiful memory. And I think that also growing up and looking back, you realize also the pedagogic value in it. I don't know that you know, but I mean, you probably know that Israel is a very, very small country.
Yes.
And relatively young. The Negev area, which is the southern region, is about 60% of the country, and it is mostly, if not entirely, desert. So throughout all these years, the commitment was to invest into blooming the Negev. Israel's first prime minister, David Ben-Gurion, had that dream and vision to nourish and to make the Negev livable and green. So actually, Keren Kayemet has that with that same commitment, all their endeavors and all their projects to push back the desert. In fact, Israel is one of the few countries, thanks to Keren Kayemet, that pushes back the desert towards all their various projects.
That's very interesting.
It sounds really good.
Yeah, it actually is, because we're talking about like hardcore desert. There is hardly no rain here also. So when you are taking into consideration also the natural resources, there is basically no water, there is no rain.
I mean, trees are pretty much the base foundation to have a good climate. Yeah,
exactly. And also it really alters the earth itself with the minerals and everything that it contains that make it livable. As soon as there is trees and green, with the way that they develop with the roots, it really transforms the earth. So there is life being regenerated there. So really, desert reforestation, which is one of Keren Kayemet's main goals, has been pursued throughout the years. It would be actually fun to know that over the years, Keren Kayemet had been planting in Israel over 250 million trees.
Oh, that's
a
good.
lot.
That's really good, in considering that their deforestation is happening at the moment. And if you just look at the Amazon River, woods, I mean, it's
that's a lot.
Been chopped down so much. So by giving back this much trees and growth to just in general, it's going to help not only Israel, but also the entire world with its climate and
for sure
change.
That's very good.
Do you think this project will also inspire so that it will be expanded and they make use of it also in other countries close to Israel there in Mid East? Because it looks, at least on the map, that there's a pretty much desert there.
It's true. I want to believe that it is already inspiring other countries to follow this strategy, develop the country and develop the nature and be a role model for other countries. It implies so many values in it, both as humanity, working together and utilizing the resources that we have, the planet, and really helping it to become a better place for everybody to live in.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, we would go there on the weekends with my family, and it is always super, super clean, super organized. You know, it is very, very popular to go there on the weekend for picnics. So I think this is also something that had made quite an impression on me growing up here, knowing that Keren Kayemet has that responsibility and this commitment to have the young generation, the children, in planting the trees and really feel part of that is something that is forever treasured in one's heart. Besides that, 30% of Israel's sweet water used to come from the Sea of the Galilee, which we call Kinneret, if in the north. But the majority really of the water comes from the Mediterranean Sea. So with the water desalination projects that Keren Kayemet is invested in, the majority of the water actually comes from the sea, and a pretty economic and efficient infrastructure pipelines have been developed to make it work. And this is pretty amazing also to see how it's working and how the benefits are.
What is the technology behind the water, bringing the water from Mediterranean Sea? Is it expensive technology or difficult, or would it also be easy to convert and spread to other countries, or would you say that it's very unique and difficult to?
So we bring the water down in pipelines from the shore to the desert, and this is also a part of the Green Treaty with the Peace Treaty with Jordan. There are a lot of new villages and new towns, the new cities growing and popping up here in the Negev, thanks to this ongoing work. Making desert areas livable. Now that there is a clean, sweet water, and the desert becomes green, it is possible, and it is appealing for people, for younger generation, and even like families that have spent their lifetime in other areas in Israel to move and start a new life, a new chapter in the Negev. It is a really beautiful area geographically and naturally. One of my favorite places in Israel is the Dead Sea, which is really an incredible phenomenon and an incredible experience to be in. I think that some dates that you eat, the fruit dates that you could find in Sweden, grow here in Israel, in the Dead Sea.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, with the water coming down from the Mediterranean Sea. So yeah, very interesting. I look forward to welcome you guys in Israel and travel around the country so we can enjoy all these beautiful sights and everything that we now just talk about. It's pretty.
Yeah, we would love to come to Israel someday.
Yeah, we would be thrilled about such.
It's a short flight away, and hopefully better times are awaiting for us all. So you are warmly welcome here. And I would also like to take that opportunity to thank you on behalf of myself, but also on behalf of Keren Kayemet. Behind all these organizations, there are people, and there are people that have the heart. And it is really not taken for granted that there are people like you who are showing up for a great purpose, greater than us, to make a difference in the lives of others. So I want you to know that I personally acknowledge you, but also on behalf of Keren Kayemet, for everything that you have been doing for the success of Keren Kayemet and their various projects here in Israel.
Oh,
I really thank you for that.
No problem. It's we are happy to be part of this and supporting this kind of international projects. And
it is blessed.
Yes.
It is blessed.
Thank you. From my side, I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you, Aviad, for being such a generous host virtually now through the computer and everything, helping us to also understand the conditions and background of such an important project that could also be very, very fruitful for not only Israel, but also for the entire region, because the only thing that we hear from the region is mostly about these conflicts, and I mean, this goes really beyond it, and maybe it's also part of solving those kind of things, because from my little poor understanding, I understand that a lot of this is also about water and living conditions. So thank you. It really enriched my understanding of the. I truly mean it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you have such a good English, and you're so pedagogical, so it's easy to understand and follow.
Yeah, very easy to follow and understand. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet you and to learn more about not only Israel and the project, but also about you, this person. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So as an Israeli, I thank you. And on behalf of Keren Kayemet, I thank you. It's inspiring to meet in person people who are committed to great purposes and for making a difference in the lives of others. It is really inspiring and moving to hear and to meet you in person. So I feel privileged to have had this opportunity now to connect with you. Kitos Palion, Tak Mela, Toda Rabba, Shabbat Shalom from Israel. And I look forward to welcome you here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
You'll
you.
have to come visit us too.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We'll be happy to host you here as well.
Yeah.
I hope I will be visiting you soon as well.
Thank you.
You guys be safe and take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too.
You too.
Thank you so much.